Hello. So I'm here with Garrett Wong from Star Trek Voyager at DN Icon. And I wanted to ask you, you were always my role model. Voyager was the very first the first Star Trek show I ever watched at 7 years old.
Oh my God.
And I saw myself in you.
Wow.
And I just want to ask, what was it like to be an inspiration and then to be saved by being the most handsome man alive?
I'll be honest. It's always shocking to me when people come up and say, "You were my role model," because as an actor, you don't really think about those things. You think about getting your job done, whatever, go getting your lines out, going home, preparing for the next day, coming back, because we had such grueling shooting schedule, right? We were there 14 to 17 hours a day.
Yeah, I was at your panel yesterday.
Yeah, they don't do that any longer. Like now, I think 10 hours, and they call it a day after 10 hours now in today's Hollywood. So it's much easier to be an actor today than it was back in the day, And what was your second part of the question?
That you were saved by being the most handsome man alive.
That is incorrect. That is on the interwebs. That being on People Magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People saved my job, but that's not true.
It's not true. Okay.
No, that is not true. Like people were saying, yeah, they were debating whether or not to get rid of Kes or Harry Kim. No, it was a matter of me being late 3 separate times for an hour and a half, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half late to work. And so I got reprimanded and I got given the talk. The talk was like, if this continues, we're going to have to write you out of the show. You can't be unprofessional like that. But here's the deal. I could not wake up. And this is something they don't even know. The producers don't know this, right? I couldn't wake up because I felt that I was 1 out of 9 series regulars. So 1.3 episodes per season will revolve around my character. The rest of the time, I'm a hired monkey to say expositional lines. So I felt I was being underutilized. So I was depressed. I was going through depression. They didn't know that. And back in the 90s, no one talked about mental health. So I was so depressed that I was not being used to my full ability. I consider myself an actor who was trained in theater, an actor who was ready to go. And they barely used me. So when you're depressed, you don't hear the alarm go off in the morning. I couldn't wake up. I set 8 alarms. Nothing woke me up. Nothing. So that's why I was late those times. And so really, it's unfortunate because it wasn't a matter of partying. There's rumors of that. I was out until all hours of night, doing this, doing that. But that's not true. That didn't happen. It was purely a state of depression that I was going through. That finally, to be perfectly honest, after that talk, they were like, well, you need to go to rehab. I'm like, okay, even though I don't need that for anything. Rehab for what? Depression? But they didn't even give me that chance to explain to them of why I was late. They were like, how dare you do this? How dare you do that? And I ended up literally hiring a friend. And I said to him, you will call me until if I don't pick up, if it keeps going to the voicemail, if it keeps going to the answer machine, you will hang up and call again. Because when you're sleeping, alarms become part of your dream, right? So I was like, keep calling until I pick up the phone. So for 2 years straight, I paid a friend to call me every time to wake me up until I got used to it. Now I'm like someone that's in the military now. Like I can, at the drop of a pin, I can wake up. Bing, I'm up now. So I've trained myself to wake up. That's the bottom story. That's the bottom line. That's the story.
Yeah. Sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I know I've struggled with depression as well. Yeah. And it is a tough thing to get out of.
It's not easy. No. And a lot of people, and in the 90s, no one knew to go get help. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like now, people, it's, mental health is in the forefront of everyone's mind. But back in the 90s, nobody even dared talk about that. If you were talking about, oh my gosh, I'm feeling a little, weird about things, like then people are looking at you sideways like, whoa, what's happening? What's going on with you? So yeah, so that's basically the bottom line.
Well, thank you for clearing up the story with me. I'm sorry for having misconceptions.
Yeah. But it didn't hurt to be on People Magazine, 50 Most Beautiful People. That was a nice thing to get.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me, and I hope you have a great rest of the time.
Thank you.
Live long and prosper.
Perfect timing.